So today we're making scribble stripped channel IDs. And what these are for mixing consoles or lighting consoles where you don't have a programmable scribble strip. So we want to be able to make a magnetic strip to attach to the mixer to show us what channels are where. So the Sunday morning church plant that we're doing right now has a Soundcraft expression, which has the little blocks that you use the dry erase pen on. The problem with that is we're there on Sunday mornings for one service, so we recall our scene, and I don't want to have to write those out every week or take a piece of tape like traditionally and lay down and write them out or carry the tape, and it's just a hassle. So what we're going to create here is these scribble strips, magnetic. So the things that we need to have to make this happen is glossy photo paper. We're going to use a straight edge, an X-Acto knife, a little mini T-square, a pair of scissors, and from the craft store we have some 1/2 inch and some 1 inch magnetic strip, which are these. Alright, so now how do I get the spacing and the height for the mixing console that I want to use? What if I have a mixer that doesn't have a whole lot of room to work with? Well, in the beginning I didn't have the tape measure with me to measure the width, so I was lucky to be able to go and download the CAD file. So now here on Open Office Calc program, so we're doing a spreadsheet. You can actually see the channel layouts from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then from there it goes 9, 10, 11, 12, and so on. So I can only do a certain length at a time, which determines my page layout. So now that you see this, let's minimize these. And here's a blank calc, and you can kind of see the bold line here. This is laid out in portrait, which would be your standard layout. So I want to go to Format and Page, and I want to choose Landscape because I want to get it as long as possible for the channel layout. And hit OK. So now I have it in Landscape. So if you do not have access to the mixer like I did, and I only have access to it 1 day a week, I actually went and found the CAD model off of Soundcraft's website, and I downloaded it. I'm using QCAD. It is a free download. You have a professional version, which this one is, which I paid. That means I paid for this version. But you can download a free copy of it, load the CAD model in, and you can actually go in here and make measurements. So if I zoom into the channels here, you can see that you can use their measurement tool, and you can come in and mark and measure things, and it will tell you what the widths are. Now this is in millimeters, so we'll do a simple conversion in a minute. So what I want to do is I want to know, when I make my magnetic strips, I want the words to be lined up center with the buttons. If you're off just a little bit, by the time that you get down 16 channels, you're not going to be centered. So you really have to be careful and measure these. So on the Soundcraft mixer, I measured 24.76 center to center of the buttons. I actually had to come in here and draw the lines to get this center measurement, but that's really not a big deal. Not going to go into that now. So this is the center line of the buttons, but I need to know what the spacing is between the two buttons, which in this case is 7.16 millimeter. So really half of 7.16 is from here to here. The other half of 7.16 is from here to here. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our calculator. We're going to take this measurement here. Wait, excuse me. Let's take the outer measurement, which is 42.36, and add it to the entire width, 7.16, because we're really concerned about half on each side. So 7.16, that gives you 49.52. Now we only want one channel, so we're going to divide that by 2. 24.76. So now I don't have my open office set up in millimeters. I have it set up in regular inch. So divided by 0.039. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. 42.36. I made a mistake there. Plus 7.16. 49.52 divided by 2. 24.76 times 0.039 gives me 965 thousandths. 956 actually. Alright, so let's go over here to our open office and we're going to select 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 channels. So 1, 3, 4, let's select that first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to hold shift down. And so now I want to set my column width. And this is 965. That was already set. This is the default was 890. So then our height needs to be, go back to our CAD program, 24.5. So when you do the math, 24.5 times 0.039 is 956 thousandths. So that's just barely under 1 inch. So we're just going to round it up to an inch. So now what happens here is if we make this row an entire inch tall, let me go back to our camera. We want to do 2 layers because this mixer has an A and B layer, which I started out with 1 and 2, but I'm changing the later one to A and B. Since we have 1 inch tall area to work in, and I don't want to have to worry about cutting 30 thousandths off the end of this magnetic strip, we're just going to round everything up to the full 1 inch. So each layer will be a ½ an inch thick. So let's go back to our Open Office Calc. And so this cell needs to be, the row height needs to be ½ an inch, 0.500 thousandths. Okay, so there's our height of our first row. So we're going to do a second row, so I'm just going to copy this and paste it. Alright, so now we actually want some borders around these. So I'm going to come in here, highlight these, and go over here to Cell Appearance. Oops, excuse me. Here we go. So we're going to add the borders around. Actually, let me copy these and put these in here. Now we have borders around the cells. So let's create. Now what I did in the original one is I actually put spaces in between it just so that we could, for the video, so we could see the spacing. You don't have to put this extra space in here. It just makes for having to cut 2 more times. You can actually do it this way and make one cut and split the 2 apart. So I'm just going to come over here and copy this cell, and you can just keep highlighting this as many times as you need until you fill the whole page up. Now if I do a page preview, it probably won't show anything, if, let's see. Now, see, it's not showing anything till we put some data in here. So once we put some data in here, we should be able to see something. So what I'm looking at here is I want, if you look at the original, you see I've got, this cell is actually narrower. I forgot what the width is, 320 thou. So we'll put this in, and then we want the text to be in the center, this way and this way. Alright, and bold, and I'll show you how we do that over here. So I'm going to come over here to this cell. Actually, I should be able to highlight all the cells. Now the way I did that is I got this selected, I'm holding shift, and I'm going to select the last one. So I'm going to come in here to the alignment side. This is going to align the text in the center. This one's going to align it in the center this way. If you want it to come from the top or the bottom, just depends. Now, when you have something that you want to say like this, Pastor 1, to where the extra part is put down here, then you want to turn on your word wrap. Okay? So now we have that set up. There's our borders. There's our alignments, and let's click the bold. So now the cell should be set up. We still should not get a preview. We did not. So let's come in here. We're going to say, actually, you know, before we get too far ahead, let's insert a column, and let's make this column width our 320 thou. And then we're going to add our borders, and then our alignments. So from here we can say this is our A layer and our B. We actually didn't do our bold, did we? Let's highlight those, click bold. And I had these letters slightly bigger on the other print. Now we've got data, so it may print this whole grid now. And it does. Oh, we got a little something going on up there. Oh, I see what we did. That should not be there. Let's delete those and then look at it again. So there we go. If you wanted to write in what's in the channels, you can just print it just like this. If not, then come in here and you can say this is your kick and this is your snare, etc. And you can do your entire layout. And then when you print it, you've got it like this, ready to go. Alright, so that's how we got our cells. For the lighting guys, it can be as simple as coming in here, you've got the same grid layout, and you come in here to the cell background, and we can change this to different colors. And you can lay this underneath your faders or above your faders for your different washes. And when you print these and cut these out individually, then this will actually be your colors for each fader. Alright, so we're done with that, so let's get rid of that for a minute, and we'll go back to, this is our current layout. So now these will lay side by side. This line, it'll be cut here, this one will be cut here, so the 8 and the 9 of it side by side, and this shows you your A and B layer. If you want to get really technical, you can go like 9, 10, 11, 12 and cut it, and then add a A and a B onto the 13, or any way that you want to lay this out. It's totally fine. So now we have another one. Let's discard that. This is the auxiliary channels. So these are individual names that you can cut out, and you can put these on the aux channels so that you know who's got what pack, because we run the in-ear monitors. Or you can take these names and you can lay them on top of the channel strips that we just made. Alright, so we're done with that part. Let's go back here to the camera and I'll show you what we've done. So here's the list that we had printed just now. So I've cut one off, and I'll show you how we're going to apply that in a minute. So let's go to this part. So here's our channel layout. So I've just got an old notebook that I don't care about, and we'll take my straight edge. This one has the cork on the back, so I actually like laying it this way because it lays right up against the paper. So what I'm going to do is take my X-Acto. You want a brand new fresh blade. Come in here. I'm going to lay this on the top, right on that line. Okay. Hold it down really good. Put the blade up against the straight edge. Drag across. Oops, I didn't make it all the way through on that. Line that up right there. There we go. So there's the first cut. So let's cut the second. So I'll lay this on here, like so. Alright, and there we have it. So now, what I like to do is get this out of the way for right now. Is the rule that I'm using, where does it say? It says stainless steel, but it's not 100% stainless steel. So that's great because this magnetic material will stick to it. So I basically just take my roll and I lay it out the width that I need, and I'll cut it off with the scissors. But it's got this curl to it. Can you guys see that? Oh yeah. So it's got this curl to it. So that kind of makes it hard to glue the stuff down. So what I do is I'll take the steel rule, lay it out here, and then I'm going to take, and it sticks down pretty good. Make sure that it's at the top, so it's nice and straight. Are we still good? Yep. And then we'll peel the adhesive backing off. Almost. There we go. So now I'm going to take our paper, which has our print, and I'm going to lay this right over the top. Like so. And I've saved a piece that I cut to lay on the top of it so I can press down real hard. And so now we have our channel strip. So all we have to do now is cut the edge right here. So get it off the magnetic piece. And we can take our little T-square and lay right against that. You don't have to cut all the way through. You just have to score the line really good and bend it till it snaps, and bend it back the other way, and it's a clean cut. We'll do that on the other side. Like so. And there we go. Now we have our channel strip piece to lay on the mixing console. So you take your 1/2 inch piece and do the same thing. Let's see, we're at 20 minutes in the video. Okay, we're doing good. We'll knock this one out right quick because this one's a little bit different. So I'm going to line this up here. And I got this one off just a little bit, not much. You just have to be real careful. I need to get directly over the top when I apply this. And I'm trying to keep it over here so you guys can keep it in the camera. Okay, so this is nice and straight. There we go. And alright, still on there. So now we'll take this. Lay it over the top. Press it down real good. Alright, so there's that strip done. So now what I want to do with these is a little bit different than what we did with the first one. Is I actually want to come in here so we got to trim off the edge. I actually got that one shifted a little bit too far. See right where the edge is, you can see that I didn't scoot this one way enough, but that's okay. We have duplicates of everything. And I don't really need the T part of this, I just need the straight edge. So I'm going to lay that right on that line, just like so. And I'm going to drag it across. Just like so. And you can use scissors for this. Alright. This is all I'm going to do right now. And then show you basically we're going to snap this way and then the other way. And then that one's done. So you do that all the way across, and now you got these individuals that you can put on. So what we have is when we have our channel strips laid here, when it says vocal 1, 2, 3, 4, you can actually come in here and you could lay the names on here if you want to. But mainly I use these for the auxiliary channels for the monitors. So that's it. Just lay all these out, trim them out, and you've got your, put them on in a little baggie, and you carry them with you on Sunday morning. You take these, drop it on the console. You take these and drop it on the aux mixes. So if, let's say vocal number 3 says I need more of my vocals in my mix, you know that they're mix 3. You put this over the aux 3, and you can hit the button. And you know which aux mix is assigned to that vocal. Okay, well, that's all I got for you today. I hope that that this helps. I hope that you can apply this towards your mixing console, whether it be lighting or sound or whatever. If you like what you see, then go down and hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching.